Hey my beautiful friends, I am your friend Kevin and this is your Divine Daily Blast. Here we go. A little bit late today. I got up really early like I do to feed my animals, and then I went to meditate, and the next thing I know 2 hours had gone by and, well, I must have needed additional sleep. Alright, where are we? Enough of that nonsense. I don't know why I felt like I needed to explain it, but I did. We were in a number 6 angel numerology day today. I believe works with the 7 of Swords, also the eagle or the devil, the ego or the devil card, and the moon, my darlings, is in Pisces. Pisces being the kind of mystical. Now Scorpio is the mysterious, Pisces is the mystical. So we're getting close to the full moon, which this one will be taking place in the fiery sign of Aries. So on this day, try to get any touchy conversations out of the way, please. It will make things a lot easier in the long run. You know, people are very touchy right now, concerned. A great deal of fear is creeping into our humanitarian consciousness. But the number 6 says, responsible, loving, be compassionate, selfless. Stop worrying about material things and refocus your thoughts on the positive things you want. A spiritual message to lift the vibrations higher and higher and be present to what's really going on. You're being given the gift of kindness from heaven and urge to stop. The merry-go-round of madness. Madness being, can't change it, don't want to change it, we keep going in the same direction, we keep trudging the same thing, the news keeps mushing the same stuff. This is all part of the bigger picture. My isms. I am reviewing, renewing, revising, replenishing, whatever that looks like. A chance to discard what doesn't work. The negative sayings, the negative people, the negative conversations, the doom and the gloom. What I know myself for sure, it's a journey, and I had to go through the journey of stop the negative claptrap, and then what happened? I noticed other people's negative claptrap, so it put me back in my negative claptrap until I could learn. That's got nothing to do with me. I need to move on from it. And now, being in a higher place, because I've lifted a little bit more, not saying I'm higher than anyone else, I've just moved through that madness of just the negative stuff. Graduated from it. Not getting in that sandbox. I was in that sandbox and it just wasn't working for me. Moving on. I am successful. Abundance is linked to the frequency of your heart. It's a link to the frequency of my heart. Abundance, not just financial abundance, but abundance in any way, shape or form. Now your guardian angels have a message for you. Think of us as your dearest friends. We are always with you, loving you from birth to death. In this moment, I am all right. And everything is okay. And from this situation, story, what have you, things get better and better. I just added that on. Let's see. We talked about the moon being in Pisces and time to kind of move past some touchy conversations that we might be having. But we do have a lovely new angel activator, which I have not ever seen show up in these daily blasts before, so there must be a reason. And we have our Divine Masters Metatron and Sandalphon that came back for a second tour this week. I did shuffle, I shuffled and shuffled, and they flew out. Can't make it up. So, who are these principalities? There we go. Spiritual study is essential right now. And the activation is, I am willing to learn in order to teach. Get the picture? We're letting go, we're releasing, and we're being called up to serve mankind. Now, what are the principalities? Who are they? And what is this spiritual study all about? Well, the principalities really boils down to rulers, angelic protectors of spirituality and spiritual texts. Now, it's been reported, or at least recorded, that they provide us with strength when things get really tough. It's known, or it's been documented, that they have a strong connection with world leaders and activists, particularly those who want to make compassionate changes on our planet. So, personally speaking, they encourage our inner leader. They support the inner strength, just like Archangel Ariel. They give us they're sort of like the inspiration that comes to us in our times of darkness. When we meditate, we get the flow of inspiration, the flow of peace. And these angels are incredibly supportive when we're entering spiritual study, and they'll guide us to the sacred halls of learning in the inner worlds of heaven, if you can kind of get your head around that. So carving out time, giving your energy and your focus to spiritual studies, you make a clear declaration to the universe that you're ready to be taken to the next level. And if you felt overwhelmed by some of the past experience that's been going on, it's essential, imperative, for you to do some digging into your psyche, your soul, your inner child, in order to have greater understanding of your experiences. And some of the wounds that you might have healed from, these become the messages that you get to help others with. So when you get so far into your spiritual path, you often go through challenging processes that are ultimately initiations, and they'll take you to the next level. So, my darlings, trust this process. Metatron and Sandalphon, study next week. There's last week's a little bit of message for each day. I gave a little bit of Sandalphon and Metatron and Orion. They're the brothers. These two were archangels in a human life. And they're coming here to give us confidence, particularly if we feel stuck and unsure where things are going. They come with encouragement, so we can see all of our situations, stories, challenges and stuff from a higher perspective. So if things aren't going according to your plan, it doesn't mean that things aren't going. It means there's a power greater than any of us within us, working to help us learn from these experiences and understand that you are interconnected with your source energy and your co-creator of destiny. Just like the guardian angels say, think of us as your dearest friends. We're always here loving you from birth to death. I know there's some folks that saying we have to be called up to this word fight. We have to be called up to take action. There are people that are fearful of going backwards on the planet, of being controlled, ruled. What we're seeing, and this is my opinion, my belief, what we are seeing and what we are learning is the crumbling of that, not the resurgence of that coming up again. It's coming up again to show us how far we've come since the last time it happened. And we're not putting up with it anymore, but it isn't that we are here to, we can fight the cause and refuse, but we're also here to give spiritual guidance, understanding, light, love, peace, all of that good stuff to the planet. All right. I am going to pull a card from our Oracle of the Fairies by Karen Kay. Gertrude, Beatrice, where are you? They're sitting learning. They're just sitting in their lovely peaceful place looking up at the moon. Oh, so, okay. I'm just going to pull this card. See what happens. Weave it into today's Divine Daily Blast. I like bringing something from the fairies, from the guardian angels, from the activating angels, from the archangels, and then a little bit from the numbers. I like all that. Oh, hello, transformation. So, this is gorgeous. Butterflies everywhere. The Fairy Queen tells you to surrender into transformation. Transformation in your life that's happening for your highest good. Embrace your transformation. The best is yet to come. So here's the thing I've got to say about this. I've talked about the mush. I keep talking about this mush. We're in the mush right now. I learned that from Pam Gregory, the astrologer. Well, I learned the analogy of it, which made complete sense. Why do I keep seeing butterflies? Why are the butterflies blue and yellow sometimes, and then there are these bright yellow and black ones all over the place? Well, the mush of the butterfly is where the caterpillar that had no choice but to crawl around the ground literally ends its life cycle and then becomes into the chrysalis, where it's sort of like its tomb. In order for the butterfly to be released, it has to rely on the DNA of the decomposed caterpillar to do it. The struggle becomes because the caterpillar doesn't want to give it up, doesn't want to let it go, doesn't want to decompose. It's like fighting all the way to stop that. The butterfly has to have it. So one literally has to finish and complete its cycle before the other one can become born. That's where the chrysalis is, and that's where the mush happens. We're in the mush. You kind of get it. There's a lot of control, not wanting to let go, not wanting to have our freedom, wanting to control the narrative, wanting to tell us to follow A, B, C, and D. And the only way I can get to control not me, the only way that control can happen is if I can round people up in fear. Think about, let me think. Think about sheepdogs, right? They have a high drive. Any sheepdog, any shepherd, any of them. Great Pyrenees, Australian shepherds, German shepherds. The shepherd, the working dogs, have a job to round up and corral sheep, goats, whatever that is that they need to. Well, I think mostly sheep and some other animals. Oh, and chickens. They guard chickens. Great Pyrenees will guard the chickens from getting hurt from other predators, but they also send off predators. Shepherds herd sheep, get them into one place, make them do as they're told. Well, what happens, and I think I'm getting this right, I don't think goats, and certainly not pigs, can be herded. They kind of follow food, and they follow that, is what pigs do. I don't quite know, I can't remember what goats do, but I've forgotten how you corral goats, but I don't think it's with sheepdogs. I'm not sure. Anyway, having said that, you've got people that want to herd and push and shove other people. And this is what you've got to do. You know those, you know how we go up, we have to line up, we have to snake through to go pay our bills, that kind of thing. Yeah, no. And people are saying, I am not doing that, not lining up, not getting in that thing, going to go home, go online, do what I need to do online. Hello. Do it when you want to do it in your jammies, thank goodness for the internet, easy peasy. Do you get the point I'm making? Lifting up our heart, lifting up our mind, finding a better way. I think yesterday I shared with you one of my affirmations, I want to be the best I can be. What's the other one I got up on the wall? I want to do and have and live in a way that is in harmony with the idea of the greatest goodness. I want to do that. That's my intent every morning. I was sharing with some clients of mine that, I get up and I look in the mirror when I have my sleepy bed face on. Sometimes I've got the wrinkles of the sheets going on. And I just look in my eyes and tell myself, you're just gorgeously stunning. You're outrageously magnificent. And I've been saying that to myself. Now, in the beginning, I didn't quite believe it. And then I moved into this phase of laughing out loud because, let's face it, we all look a bit crumpled in the morning. But I thought it was just amusing. And then I realized, oh, that's the point of it. To just have fun, have a good time. The challenge we're in, this like that right now, is this is really what we want. We want to have this fabulous time, this great experience. And other people don't like that. They don't want us to have all that. They want it. They don't want us to have it. Yeah, no, not so much. Not doing that. All right, my friends, I'll be back in a little while with navigation for the week ahead. We've got a full moon. We've got the planets moving around. Got quite a lot going on this week. And I'll share that with you in the next video. Until then, I love you. Bye for now.